Ciao a tutti, this is Marcello from Vito, Italy. When I lead tours, many travelers ask me about Italy's institutions. Sooner or later, you end up talking about politics. And so they want to know about our political system, the rules that Italy has set to govern itself. Everyone, even outside the US, knows about the President of the United States, particularly in these days. And many probably know that how is he elected and the powers he has. And they know that in the US there are two chambers, the House of Representatives and the Senate, and the latter has a federal basis. So there are two senators for each of the 50 states. All of you know that Great Britain is a monarchy where the Queen has no real power but only represents the unity of the country. The power is exercised by the Parliament, by one chamber in particular, the House of Commons. And there's an electoral system indicating automatically the Prime Minister. Germany is a federal republic. The Prime Minister, the Kanzlerin, is simply the leader of the coalition of parties which has the majority in the main chamber, the Bundestag. There's also a federal chamber, but its legislative functions are limited only to subjects concerning the states, the Länder. Few, however, even the most passionate connoisseurs of Italy, know how Italy is governed. Italy is a democratic, representative republic with a written constitution. Great Britain, for instance, doesn't have a constitution, a written constitution. This constitution was enacted in 1947, 2 years after the end of World War II. 1 year earlier, in 1946, a popular referendum had been held in which the majority of Italians had chosen to abolish the monarchy, and I will tell you the story of this in the series The Darkest Hour. Our system can be defined as balanced. More simply, there's a parliament elected by the citizens that appoints and controls the government. The third power, the judiciary, is independent of the other two organs. There's, however, a fourth power, and this is why we say it is balanced. The President of the Republic is a super partes, as the Romans would say, that is above the parties. And he has been placed there as a representative of the nation and its unity, and alongside the other three powers, to control and facilitate the functioning of the entire system and implement the principles established in the Constitution. In the Italian parliamentary system, there are two chambers. The Chamber of Deputies with 630 deputies and the Senate with 315 senators. Maybe too many for a country of 60 million people, but there will be a referendum soon to reduce this number. Both chambers last 5 years unless the President of the Republic decides to call early elections. In the Senate there are also some life members, the former presidents of the Republic, and some personalities, not more than 5, appointed by any president of the Republic among the citizens with very high merits in the scientific, artistic and literary social fields. Among them the architect Renzo Piano, the Nobel Prize Carlo Rubbia, and Liliana Segre, who was deported to Auschwitz in 1944. The system is perfect because every law must be passed in the same form by both chambers. It is a guarantee that the legislative work is carried out with more accuracy and reflection, avoiding hurried decisions in moments of excitement, and I assure you, we've had a lot. But it's also a system which produces laws at a slow pace. If one of the two chambers changes just one word, the law must be approved again in the new form by the other chamber. In the general elections, any Italian citizen, being at least 18 years old, can vote. To vote, you must register in the electoral register and present an electoral certificate at the polling station. Voting is personal, meaning that proxy vote is not allowed, as well as voting by mail, which is widely accepted in other countries. The electoral system is proportional with some corrections. If you are American English, this is something probably very far from your experience. You may have 2 or 3 parties. We never had less than 10. There's a joke that says when you have 2 Italians, you have 3 political parties. This system guarantees representation, but even little parties have the power to condition the government, obviously. That's why we've had 66 governments since 1945. We always talk about how to change our electoral rules, but I think that the proportional system is in our DNA. We will never change it. Having just 2 parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, or the Tories and Labour, is just unthinkable to us. We need to find the very party which reflects our ideas. And still, when we vote, we say, I am voting for the least worst. Well, the government depends on the majority in the parliament for its functioning. Same as in the UK or Germany, but not as in the States. In other words, it rules only if it is supported by the majority of MPs and senators inside the parliament. When the government no longer has majority, the Prime Minister, we call him the President of the Council of Ministers, submits his resignation to the President of the Republic, who decides whether there is a possible alternative majority inside the parliament. Otherwise he calls new elections. The President of the Republic signs our laws and may not agree with the text of a law and ask the parliament to review it. But if the parliament sends it back, he is obliged to sign it. His main task is to control and to facilitate the functioning of the entire constitutional mechanism. However, he never intervenes directly in the political debate. The President of the Republic in charge is Mr. Sergio Mattarella. He is the first president who did not participate in the partisan movement against the Nazis and fascists in World War II, but he had a brother killed by the Sicilian Mafia. He's a very calm and thoughtful person, and for this he is highly esteemed by the majority of the population. All in all, when something goes wrong, we always turn to the President of the Republic. Okay, that's all for today. Please follow us on our Facebook site, on our website, follow our blog, our YouTube channel, and if you have any question and any matter you want me to address, please let me know. I look forward to talking to you very soon. Thank you very much. Grazie. Ciao ciao. Ciao ciao.